Thank you, Hayden. Nearly 81 years after he was declared missing in action during World War II, a family finally has some answers. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen says the remains of Ensign Howard Allen Holding, a Navy aviator, have been identified now and will be returned home.
January 22nd, 1922, Howard Allen Holding was born in Salt Lake City. Like so many of his generation, when war broke out, he felt the call to serve. In 1942, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy. By 1943, he earned his wings as a naval aviator at just 22 years old. He was flying fighter missions from the deck of the USS Enterprise. On September 6, 1944, during a mission over Yap Island in the Pacific, Holding's F-6F Hellcat never returned. Reports suggest his plane may have collided with another or been struck by anti-aircraft fire. He was declared missing in action. 2 years later, presumed dead.
We revered him. We always had, my mother and my grandmother both always had a framed photograph of him in a prominent place.
For decades, his loved ones carried that uncertainty. Holding's niece, Terry Trick, now living in Walla Walla, never met her uncle, but she felt like she always knew him, and with that special bond came a phone call she didn't think would ever come.
Pat Rand Friends, who has been indefatigable looking for wrecks on Yap and has found most of them really, called me up and told me he thought that he had found my uncle's plane.
Trick and her brother were invited to Yap to see for themselves, and an ordinary walk led to something extraordinary.
We were there for about 3 days, and I felt like going to another crash site, so I got a guide from the hotel where we were staying, who of course knew the island, and he took me up to what was then called the Harry Brown crash site. It was quite a hike. It was in the hillside. And it turns out that, in truth, was Howard's crash site.
In 2020, the Defense POW-MIA Accounting Agency exhumed remains from the unidentified graves in the Pacific. DNA testing matched them to Holding's family. On June 10th of this year, his identity was confirmed.
My family never thought that we would ever find his remains. Both my mother and my grandmother were sure that he was at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean and that he would never be found.
For his family, Ensign Holding is finally coming home. What does this identification mean to you and your family today?
Closure, mostly, and hope. Hope for other people who have lost loved ones that feel the same way we did.
Ensign Howard Allen Holding will be laid to rest with full military honors later this month in Salt Lake City. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Holding earned the Purple Heart and Air Medal for his service. Now, after more than 80 years, he will be honored with a hero's welcome in his hometown.